Hi there, students. In this video I want to look at the difference between a saying, a saw, an adage, a maxim, an aphorism, an axiom, a proverb, a motto, an apothegm, and an epigram. Wow, that's a lot of words. Well, firstly, I would say that these words are all near synonyms, although I wouldn't call them interchangeable. They are all a short phrase, a few words, a brief saying that illustrates a general truth or wisdom, either about morality or science or life or something like that. So let me go to it. Okay, so sayings. This is a very general word to start with. Sayings are quite general, just brief, memorable words, any short expression illustrating a general truth. And I think this is probably like a coverall word. All of these words are sayings, yeah? So that one's easy. And then saws. Okay, saws again is a general word, a word for a saying or a proverb, but notice this word a saw, this is rather old-fashioned. I don't think it's a word I've ever used, but you certainly could use it. And then, this comes from Old English sagu, or saga, a story, a saga, a story or a saying, from Proto-Germanic sago, saying or story. And I think I would probably give this word maybe a 6.5 informality. By the way, the word a saying, 5 informality, use it absolutely anywhere without any problem. Okay, the next word is an adage. An adage is a principle. Often there are various adages about the same thing. Yeah, so maybe these are less memorable over time. Yeah, it's like a maxim that's been handed down over generations. So an adage isn't something I thought of today. Yeah, this is, it's more a time-worn phrase. The credibility comes from long use because it's been used for a long time. Yeah, and it comes from Latin, adagium, ad, to, and plus io, to say, or ao, to say. Formality of the word adage probably sounds a little bit old-fashioned. I think I'd probably give it a 6 in formality, something like that. Okay, the next word, a maxim. Okay, a maxim gives us wisdom, often related to science or morality. It's a rule of thumb about how to react in a given situation. It's a general rule of conduct, what you should generally do. Yeah, it's if you use this, you're probably going to get the right answer. You're going to know what to do. Yeah, from Latin maxima and axiom. Yeah, from Latin maximus, which comes from proposito maximus, the greatest premise. Okay, the greatest hypothesis, for example. Okay, our next one is an aphorism, a brief definition of something moral, technical, or science, or scientific. Okay, an aphorism can be quite new. It's not something that's necessarily been handed down through the generations, but an aphorism needs to be original and memorable, and maybe in the future this will become an adage or even a proverb. Your aphorism needs good style, and it often contains some sort of paradox, or it's used to correct a problem. Very often it's philosophical in nature as well. And then this comes from ancient Greek, aphorismos, a pithy phrase containing a general truth, from apo, off or away, and horizo, I divide, bound. That's clearly linked to horizon. Okay, an axiom. An axiom is a truth, a general truth based on an assumption. Normally with an axiom you can't really prove if it's true or not, but it normally works very similar to a maxim. Yeah, it's an established principle in art and science, and it's widely known by people. Yeah, it generally works, but you can't prove why it works. And that comes from ancient Greek, axioma, a self-evident principle. Axios, fit or worthy. I'd probably give this an axiom 6.5 in formality, 6 1/4, something like that. Okay, Proverbs. This is the word you all know. Okay, this is an adage, a saying handed down over many generations. Your proverb, it needs to be a practical truth, a practical piece of wisdom. It's commonly used, and normally everybody knows the proverbs, whereas the others, maybe people don't know them so well. This proverb, it normally comes from experience and observation over time. So you look at a situation and something happens again and again, and then you probably first of all make an aphorism about it, some witty phrase, and then that slowly over time becomes a proverb. From Latin proverbium, pro, for, on behalf of, and verbum, a word. Proverb, 5 in formality, use it anywhere, maybe 5 1/4, but use it any way you want. Okay, the next one is a motto. A motto's easy. A motto is a short, memorable phrase showing the objective, the ethos, or objective, I've written objective, or aim of a person or a group. Yeah, this is a short sentence that gives an idea of what a person or a group does. So be inventive when using foreign languages. That's my motto. Yeah, when you don't know, guess. That's another one of my mottos in learning languages, and it comes from Italian motto, a word, a saying, from Latin mutum, a mutter or a grunt. Yeah, organizations have mottos. Yeah, what's the company motto? What's the team motto? And then, okay, apothegm. Firstly, notice you've got two different spellings. One, I think this second one's British, and I think this first one's American. And notice the pronunciation as well, apothegm. There's no G in it. Normally an apothegm, it's short, ironic, pointed, a little bit cutting. Yeah, looking at the irony of a situation. Maybe there are various different things in conflict working against each other. Yeah, this word, an apothegm, is not commonly used nowadays. You might see it in a crossword. I think this one I'd probably give a 7.5 in formality. Don't use it informally. Whoops. And then this one comes from ancient Greek, apophthegm. Wow, I had problems with that one. I plainly speak my mind, from apo, from, and phthengomai, I speak loudly. Yeah, so I'm saying what I think. Okay, and what's next? And that's the end. Oh no, not quite. We've got the epigram as well. Okay, an epigram, a short and funny saying. An epigram needs to be witty and intelligent. Yeah, it's often talking about a paradox, some sort of complexity in life, conflicting things, two things working against each other. Yeah, an epigram, it describes a situation with a short, funny phrase. And then this from ancient Greek, epigramma. I think away, off, and then grammar sounds something like writing or words or something like that. And I think that's all of them. Okay, these words are quite difficult to differentiate. I think very often the difference depends who's saying them. Yeah, use saying or saw as general words. I would use saying. Yeah, then an adage. I think an adage, maybe we don't really know who said an adage as well. But this is something old that comes from folklore. A maxim, again, a maxim, we don't really know who said it, but it's quite obvious that this works. Yeah, when in trouble, run. That's probably quite a good maxim. An aphorism. Okay, yeah, an aphorism. An aphorism, very often we know who actually said it. We can quote the author, or we know its origin. And yes, it needs to be memorable as well. An axiom. An axiom, again, is general. We don't really know who said it. It's something that is it's obvious to see. Yes, if you observe carefully, then axioms give us our established principles. Proverb, yes, a proverb is something that comes down from time, is really old. I think maybe very historical characters might give us a proverb. We might know who first said it, or we might not. It might just be lost in the mists of time. A motto. A motto belongs to a specific group, so we may not know who said it. Mottos are often in French or in Latin or in Greek or things like that, and they're showing the spirit of a group or a person. And then this apothegm. Okay, an apothegm, an unusual word. We probably don't know who said this as well. Maybe we do, though. But it's saying, well, life can be very complicated. And then finally this epigram. An epigram, very commonly we know who wrote it. In the past they used to use the word epigram to talk about something that was carved in stone. Okay, so that's the idea. So good luck with these words. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating. Try and give me examples of each of these words. I think that would be interesting. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. So I've got to say the words again, haven't I? Make sure I get them all. A saying, a saw, an adage, a maxim, an aphorism, an axiom, a proverb, a motto, an apothegm, and an epigram. Bye for now.